What are the challenges that you have ahead of you tomorrow?
Well, you know, after watching them on film, you know, they play extremely hard. They're definitely going to be up for the game. You know, they run a lot of sets, so we're going to have to defend. We're going to have to talk and communicate on the floor, and then I'm sure they'll throw us a wrinkle here or there defensively. Whether, you know, they play a little bit of, seeing them on tape, they played man and 2-3 zone, but wouldn't surprise me if they wouldn't trap a little bit, try some other things to get us out of our comfort level.
Go ahead.
How's your team finals week? What was your plan this week, and how have they kind of responded? Is that always kind of a worry, your first game out of?
Well, you know, to me, every game's a worry. It don't matter if it's final week or not. You know, we haven't been having great practices. I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to put some new wrinkles in myself, and you know, needless to say, you know, the concentration has not been there this week, but we'll be okay. We have enough players. Again, that's the great thing about being deep. I'll find 5 or 6 players that are focused, ready to play, and we'll be okay.
Just mentioned, you know, they'll do some things to try to take you out of the game. Well, obviously that's what anybody tries to do in a game, but
Yeah.
You've had those problems this year. You've found solutions, obviously, to still get the win. But is that concerning, you know, this far into the season, despite the fact that you haven't gotten into conference games yet, that people are able to sort of dictate the way that you play, and you have to find different ways than what you may have necessarily gone into the game planning?
Well, you know, as coaches, we're always looking for a way to take a team out of the game. So, you know, that's great. The more they can show us non-conference, the better, in my opinion. You know, we'd love to see everything non-conference, and that way when we get in the conference, we're used to it, and we've seen it, and we know how to adjust to it, and know how to attack it. So, you know, that's not a big thing. It's really not. And, you know, we do the same thing defensively. Sometimes we let people shoot. Sometimes we don't let people shoot. You know, sometimes we double people. Sometimes we don't double people. It depends on the individual and the scout. So, you know, that's just what teams do, and that's what coaches do. So the more we can see, the better going into conference play.
How's Asia handled it, though? Is she learning too? And
she's frustrated. Asia's frustrated a little bit. You know, we're all frustrated a little bit. But, you know, that's just a – you know, it just says what type of player she is. You know, when teams go in and say, hey, we're going to try to take Asia Bussey out of the game, we're going to double and triple team her. We're going to drop off people and go double Asia Bussey because we want to make other people beat you. And that's what people do. You know, hopefully our guards and people can step up and still hit shots. But, you know, eventually people are going to have to guard everybody.
You don't think you'll see that in
No.
the conference?
No, I think in the Big 12 they think their post player can guard our post player, to be honest with you. They have great post players also. It's when you play some of these teams don't have a lot of height and that type of stuff is when you see all these jump defenses and that type of stuff. So, but again, somebody may throw it on us, so we're used to it. We know how to, you know, my philosophy on that always is let's not stand out and shoot threes if we're not hitting them. Even though they're sagging and they're doing that, if you're hitting your threes, shoot them all day. I don't care. If we're not hitting our threes, we got to find another way. We got to move the ball, got to reverse the ball. At least got to get it inside out a little bit. If she's got to come out of the paint, and then we got to attack the rim and not settle for threes and draw fouls. So those are things we've been able to work with in practice also.
With just this game and, you know, getting down to Charleston, a different part of the state that different fans can come and see you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to get to Charleston and like you said, get some fans that don't normally come to our games have an opportunity to see us play. So, you know, everybody asked me. I was called yesterday from a newspaper person from the Huntington area, and the question was such a rival. And I've said this since I've been here. It's really not a rival to me. It's just another game. We have an opportunity to go play in Charleston, you know, in front of our fans down there. Marshall's never done anything to me, so I've always been friends with their coaches and that type of stuff. And our players, most of our players, well, every player on our team right now is from out of state, so they really don't know about the rival. I mean, I can stand there and tell them about the rival, but you know, quite frankly, they don't really care. It's another game. It's a game we need to go win. It's a game that we need to go, you know, do what we do.
You got that call from down in Huntington. You get a sense that they wouldn't necessarily say the same thing if you were to talk to Marshall players, if you talk to that program?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You know, every year we go down there and we say they're fired up, you know, and all that stuff. But, you know, if we go down there and play well and they play well, it should be a great game.
I bet you think it's a rivalry if you lost 2 in a row, though.
Well, you know what? That's probably true. Anybody. We lose 2 to anybody, it's a rival to me, because then it becomes personal. And it should become personal to your players also. And, you know, we got a couple games coming up after this that's been the case, that, you know, we need to take those games personal. And if you can't take it personal after a team beats you year after year, then you got a problem.
You've been vocal in past years, and this is the first time on a Saturday, in the Saturday afternoon and evening. What do you expect?
You want me to be vocal again?
If you'd like.
Don't just think it. Tell us what you
You know, I personally thought being on separate nights was great, personally. Now, why this ended up this way, I don't know. You know, it's above my pay grade. I don't know why it ended up this way. I was told, you know, we play at 1 o'clock, we'll be there at 1 o'clock. You know, it's on the same day. You know, it used to be, like you said, double headers, one after another. Then we went separate days. Now all of a sudden we're going 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So I don't know what the reason for that, other than maybe TV. I don't know what the reason is for that.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.